podcast talks about the worst / no sleep story that people read, and the story is called "My bedroom constantly smells like farts that aren't mine, but I live alone." So I thought it would be fun to read the story. So if you are ready, let's get into it. Have you ever been scared shitless inside your own home? Were you alone at the time? I lived alone after college, half a country away from my family. What can you do if you're afraid of your own apartment? Eventually, no matter how terrified you are, you'll need to go back home. But you'll need to fall asleep, and that's the worst part. I would wake up to the scent. Foul, blaster-splitting clouds of flatulence hung like a thundercloud over my bed. I could almost feel the thick ropes of odor curling around my head like a nuzzling cat, licking my nostrils before seeping into every pore and staining my teeth a muddy yellow. I had nearly put my feet on the bedroom floor before freezing. Was someone under my bed? I slowly moved my legs back onto the mattress, heart pounding. It had to be my imagination, right? I must have eaten something that really disagreed with me. Maybe a possum had gotten stuck in the wall right next to my bed, and his festering corpse was slipping out, the decaying scent of fresh rot directly into my face. That would be horrifying. That would be horrifying. To be sure, but people are much scarier than any animal. What was I supposed to do? Stay in bed all day? So I took a deep breath, leapt onto the floor, snatched my phone like a relay baton, and sped out the door. I spent the entire Saturday outside. Having just moved to Washington, D.C., I didn't know anyone within a 1,930-mile radius. Most people didn't give a second chance to the girl in Franklin Square who looked like she'd roll out of bed and onto grass. Then the sun went down and I had to go back home. The fart smell was waiting for me, knowing that an intruder would likely steal a butcher knife from my grasp. I snatched a fork from the kitchen instead. With a trembling hand, I lifted my duvet and slowly pointed my cell phone light into the dark recess underneath my bed. Nothing. Of course, there was no intruder. I was being paranoid beyond reason. I laughed softly to myself, then padded to the kitchen to eat yesterday's Panda Express. Nothing can make me feel quite as good as orange chicken. I opened the door and frowned. It was gone. I was almost sure that half had been left over from yesterday. There was even a drop of sauce on the shelf. Disappointed, I grabbed the paper towel and wiped away the sauce. When I opened the trash can to toss the paper towel, I saw the orange chicken box poking out from beneath some garbage, as though someone had buried it out of sight. Was that the only odd thing? Olivia asked, looking at me like I was a freak. I was talking with Olivia from work because I still didn't have any local friends. Well, I responded tentatively, wondering what I should say. Would it be better to downplay the whole situation to appear more normal? Or should I go with the truth in hopes of drumming up sympathy and intrigue? No, I answered honestly. I tried to think of a nice way to say things before realizing that there wasn't any. I had left the used, condom, she blurted. Not since. Shit, it's been a while. No, it was a tampon, I whispered. Oh, a tampon, she repeated loudly enough to echo across the office. My face burned. Yes, there was one in the trash. Anyway, my trash can was almost full, so I got up to grab a new liner. By the time I got back to the bathroom, it was gone. Your whole trash can, she grasped. No, just a tampon. Olivia gagged. Girl, have you checked every inch of your apartment? I sighed. 3 times. I live on the 3rd floor, keep my windows sealed, so I don't know what animals I'd even have to look for. She folded her arms and raised an eyebrow. I don't know either, but it seems like you need a different kind of help. She pursed her lips. I might have an extra. She turned and plunged into her desk drawer. I didn't know if I'd be more horrified at finding she had a stash of guns or a pile of used tampons, but she pulled out something I never would have expected. Saint Joseph protects the home, she explained while handing a candle to me. It had a man's face printed on one side, a halo unwreathed his head. Thanks, I answered tentatively. You can thank me if that works. You've either got a demon or a person bothering you, and I don't know which is worse. I stared at the candle, which was sitting on the floor by my bed. Since I was too poor to afford a bedside table, we were tied in a staring contest. You know, I don't believe in you, I snapped in a voice that was supposed to sound authoritative. You're not even actually white. You're a Galilean carpenter from the Jewish Middle East. The candle didn't say anything, and I felt stupid for talking to a candle. Of course I'm going to light you, I said in response to the question it didn't ask. What other options do I have? I struck the match with shaking fingers, not looking forward to another night of surrendering to unknown sleep. At least you'll absorb some of the fart smell. It was a hot dream, very fucking hot, enough to bleed into the crazy, hazy border between hard dreaming and soft waking. I was uncomfortable, the sheets were drenched with sweat. Flipping over meant my burning torso met the chilly sweat pool, and that jolted me into a sitting position. Fuck, it was hot. Smoky too. My sleep-addled brain tried to make sense of what was happening. My room was on fire. Every wall was burning. I realized that I was going to die. I froze for a moment, wondering just how badly it was going to hurt. Then a flaming ball of fabric landed on my duvet, instantly scorching my shin. I yelped and jumped onto the ground, which burned beneath my feet. I was sprinting before I was thinking, and I quickly found myself running outside into the cool air of the night. I felt weak enough as I shivered on the edge of the fire truck, covered only in my pajamas and the blanket they had given me. When the fire captain strode up to me wearing 100 pounds of equipment and a stern look on his face, I was ready to melt into the ground. We got the fire out before it threatened any other apartments, but you won't be able to go back into yours for a while. He folded his arm. Tell me, did you go to sleep with the lit candle in your room? I was cold, exhausted, embarrassed, and ready to cry by the time I sat down with the police investigators. Look, I'm sorry about the candle, I moaned as the 2 men sat down in front of me. It took all my effort to avoid bursting into tears. I've been living here less than 2 weeks. I know it's all my fault. And, Claire, you're not in any trouble. The first cop, a flabby man, said in a voice that tried unsuccessfully to sound comforting. I finally snapped. Then why am I here? It's been hours. All I want to do is sleep, and noticed anything unusual in your apartment, Claire? The second one, older and stern-looking, asked gruffly. Anything that seemed out of place, inexplicable. What kind of unusual thing? I inquired meekly. They gave each other a knowing look. It lingered painfully long. Finally, I burst. Look, I've had a really shitty go of things. I'm a long away from my friends and family. I just burned my fucking apartment down, and yes, things have been strange, and now you won't tell me what's going on. I was hyperventilating. Stan Cobb looked at me pityingly. I stared back on the verge of tears. Stan Cobb sighed. This was taken in your bedroom, he said, sliding a photograph towards me. My stomach dropped, and I couldn't tell down from up. No, I whispered. This isn't possible. Yes, Claire, these photos were taken an hour ago. I turned away, but the image was burned into my mind, and now it all made sense. A strange man had been living with me in my apartment for weeks. He's stolen food from my fridge and taken tampons out of the trash. He's been hiding in a hollowed-out cavity in my box spring, completely unseen. This man was sleeping inches below me every night. Since exiting his cubbyhole must have been difficult, he would wait until I left for work, then return before I came home. Tonight, for reasons that only he would know, he had finally decided to emerge while I was sleeping. That's what had knocked over the candle. He wasn't able to free himself before the flames had consumed the room. That's why the photo in front of me showed the charred skeleton of a man trapped in the burnt remains of my bed frame, with no flesh left on him except for a lump of smoldering scalp and a solitary watching eyeball. The end. Yeah, that, I don't know if it's the worst r/no-sleep Reddit, but definitely a terrifying r/no-sleep Reddit. I live in Japan, right? So, like, stalking and hidden camera is like a fear for a lot of women here in Japan. And just the other day, I was just, taking the train to meet my friend, and I noticed a man who followed me over to the next carriage to sit right opposite me. I didn't think much of it, I thought maybe he was taking the same exit as I was. And when my train stop came, I exited and he exited as well. And then I stood in my lane and he stood right behind me. And I felt I had a bad feeling. I wasn't 100% sure what was going on, but I definitely had a bad feeling. So I switched over to a different lane, trying not to alert him, and he followed me over to a different lane. So what I did was, when the train came for me to ride again, I just waited until last minute, and before the door was closing, I went in. And then when I looked back, the guy was looking directly at me, and he just walked away. He didn't take the train. He didn't wait for the train. He just walked away to a different exit. So I don't know if it's just in my head, but definitely he was following me. So, and I wasn't wearing anything provocative, nor does it matter what I was wearing, but it was pretty scary. And in Japan, I don't know what it is, things like this happen quite often. And also, I got this new mic from my friend. It's a skeleton mic. Hopefully it has better sound quality.